body, and if I consider this is the height of the can, then there are two type of cans. In one case, your diameter is higher than the height, and these cans are commonly called shallow cans. Okay, and in some cases you will see that D is smaller than height, which is called the tall can. For example, shallow cans, you can see some of the cosmetic products and all, especially in these cold days, you will see there are a lot of cold creams. I can remember there is something, Nivea one, which comes like a very, shallow kind of packaging like this. And it is also seen in some, in case of some, confectionaries, chocolates packaging, where you see this kind of metal box which is not much tall, but it is having a higher width. Okay, and tall cans are commonly whatever we see, the aerosols, the sprays that we normally see, those are the tall cans. Generally the percentage of tall cans is higher than the shallow cans. Okay, now, if it is a shallow can, or means if your height is not very high, very big, then we prefer to use this DRD technique. And if you want a big height, then we generally prefer to use the DWI cans. Okay. Now let us see how these cans are made. What is the process steps of DRD and DWI? One second. Okay, this is the process of draw, redraw can manufacturing. Please draw this diagram, then I am telling it. Okay, so this is draw, redraw can making process. In short, we call it DRD. Please draw this process steps, and then I am telling. Okay, as you can understand from this particular diagram, that the process is quite simple. First of all, that the disc cut from the roll or sheet. Basically, you get the sheet in this kind of formation, or maybe it's a reel. Then you have to cut a disc out of it. Okay, according to the dimension of your finished can. Then you have to draw into shallow cans. Drawing means basically what happens, again a pressure kind of thing is here. It is done using pressure. Okay, So this is the this disc. Basically this is the disc, and on this particular disc you give a pressure. Okay, and this pressure basically draw it inside, and you get the formation of this shot. Okay, so this is this shallow can making process. The first step, this is basically called a cup. Okay, the first drawing, whichever shape you get, this shape which is shallow in nature, this is called the cup formation. Okay, and then the ends, these two ends are basically flanged. Flanged means they are being bent a bit, so this is called the flange. And this flange is required for the seaming purpose, because you have to fix the lid or closer with the can, so that is why this is done. Okay, now in some cases what can happen, that may not be one drawing process is enough to meet your final dimension, but if you give a very huge pressure initially, there is a chance that your metal can have a crack. Okay, because every metal or every this kind of material is always having an endurance. Okay, that is to a certain extent it can withdraw the pressure and it can change its shape, but if you give a very huge pressure at one time, there is every chance that you can get a crack or break in your metal. So to avoid that, what happens, initially a pressure is given for this cup formation. If you want a higher height, then again you have to draw it. So that is why it is called a redraw. Okay, and this flange formation must happen at the end of it. So I am just giving you a bit clearer picture for understanding. So what happens, so first say for example, this is your, you can say this is a kind of dice you have, and on this dice you are keeping this metal over here, and you are giving a pressure onto it. So whenever you are giving the pressure, it's changing its shape, and you are getting, suppose this is the first drawing process. In next drawing process, what happens, you change the diameter, you shorten the diameter. So and again you are going to give a pressure like this. So what is going to happen, basically this part which was earlier a part of your diameter now get added to your height. Okay, so finally you get a taller can with smaller diameter. So this process is called drawing. This first process is cup formation or drawing, and consequent processes are called redrawing. Okay, so that is why it is called drawing, redrawing. But you have to remember one thing, that there is again a certain limitation, that you cannot just keep on putting pressure and make it taller. Okay, because after some point of time your metal can exist some kind of fatigue, or like it can exist its endurance strength, and in that case what will happen, you will get a break or a crack. So that is why that you can have a, generally we don't exceed more than two redraw step. That means one draw plus two additional redraw. And as you can understand that in this case there is a limitation, you cannot just keep on increasing height. Okay, so that is why this is majorly useful where you have a shallow can, that means your diameter is higher than height, or maybe diameter is equal to height. Other cases we generally don't prefer to use this draw redraw cans. Okay, so this is how DRD can answer me. If you have any doubt, ask me. Otherwise, I will go to the next topic. Okay, since you don't have any doubt, so I am going to the DWI can making. This is the diagram of DWI can making process. So please draw it first, then I'm telling. So this is called drawing and wall ironed or ironing cans. Okay. So this is that is why it is short. It is called DWI can making. Please draw it, then I'm explaining this. Okay, in this case, as you can see that this step, whatever you have got till here is same as your DRD can. But after that, there is a change. You know, like you know the concept of ironing. Ironing মানে যাকে আমরা বাংলায় বলি ইস্ত্রি করা. So basically what's happening, suppose you got a doll like this. Now when you give a pressure, আটা বেলার মতো করে যদি তুমি একটু ভাবো, so what is going to happen there? If you give a pressure, then it thins down, but it becomes bigger. Okay, same way again, if you put this, then again it will keep on increasing, but the thickness will change. Okay, it will become thinner. So more you give the pressure, it becomes thinner. So the same concept is here also, that after you have made like this, it passes through a ram. Now what this RAM over here, it's not the computer RAM, it is an arrangement where you have many concentric circles like this. Okay. So what is going to happen if you think that you have two cylinders like this, which are concentric, And if you pass this thing, if you pass your metal thing in between them, and this gap is very small, okay, so say for example, this is the gap you have, and the metal thickness that you are putting inside, what is that? This is the metal thickness. So what is going to happen due to pressure, if it is trying to go inside this gap, so obviously this thickness is going to get down, so the thickness will become something like this. But where this metal, which is in this thickness, will go, they will get added to their height. Okay. So this process is called a ramming process, which is basically, you know, many so remember this picture that you have lot of concentric cylinders, and in between the gap of two consecutive cylinders, if you pass this cup, then what is going to happen? The thickness is going to come down, and the metal which is resulted from the thinning down will get added to its height. Okay. And there are many such things, so according to your requirement you can keep on increasing the height. Okay. So this is one process by which you can get a taller can. Okay. And here they have given, in case of a food can, you may have the beads. Okay, these are called beads. In case of a food can, you will see that in the body you have some formation like this, which basically gives a better holding and a better stability of the user. So this is called beads. Okay. And in case of liquid or drink cans, we don't have such beads. Now say for example, why these beads are necessary? These beads are necessary to control the flow. For example, you are having a food can where you have some, you know, like peas, or you know, something like small granular kind of things. So if you just you know, you bend it, it is not expected a huge lot will come out like the liquid which is having a free flowing nature. So to control this flow, we have these beads, so that within the can, the material gets a kind of obstruction or obstacle when they try to come out. Okay, so for this flow control, we use such beads. Okay. So most of the cans you see in case of aerosols, for example, your deodorants, your different sprays nowadays, lot of sanitization sprays, lot of toiletries also. So all these cases, wherever you see that the can is much taller and it does not have any side seam, you can understand that this is made using this draw wall ironing concept. Okay. So this is the DWI concept. If you have any doubt, please ask me. I will go to the next topic otherwise. Okay, you don't have any doubts since, so I will go to the next topic. The next process that we are going to talk about, it's another very important thing. This is called simming. Simming in the sense that, as you can understand, that in any of the cans, whether it is a 3 piece or 2 piece, we need to fasten, or we need to uh, bound the end and the closer or the lead. So to do that, the one of the majorly used process is simming. And again, among different simming process, the most commonly used process is called double simming. Okay. In this double simming process, basically what it is, as I already told in previous class, you can remember that we created a flange. This is called the flange during the can manufacturing thing. And again, in the lead or closer, that too has a flange. So both together comes, and then we put a pressure with some heat to make it, to fix this joint or the seam. So this part, this type of simming is called a double simming. Okay, that two ends, the two flanges, one of the metal body, one of the end is coming together and they are joined. So this process is called double simming. So let us see the picture of the double simming. So this is the construction of the double simming process. So please draw it again. Okay, so as you can see, the picture is quite self-explanatory that we have two ends, as I already told, that we have an end simming panel. This is the end simming. That means this is the end part and this is the can body. But as you can see, there is a construction wise, there is a difference. In can simming body wall, we have much straight kind of flange than the curved flange of here. Okay. So in this case, as you can understand, that these two ends come down, and this is called end countersink. This is the end countersink where these two ends come in the contact. Okay, so this part is called the end countersink. So then end placed over body flanged. This is the end, means the can end. That means, as I already told, that this is the can body. In three piece you will have one end over here and one end over here, but in seamless or two piece can, you will have only one of them. So this is the end simming panel. They come together, and then after the first roller operation, that means on this part a roller operation happens. This roller operation nothing but that gives some pressure. However, this pressure should be very well maintained. Otherwise, what can happen? Since this is a curved area, you can have a breakage over here. Okay. And this one you have to remember that this may not be very thick area, this may be a bit thin thing. So that is why this roller pressure should be very well monitored, otherwise you can have a breakage over here. Okay, so after this roller operation they get a shape like this. Okay, and finally we put another roller operation to fix it. Okay, and this is the final seam that you get at the end. Okay, now the thing over here is many of the times, like with the pressure we also use a bit of heat over here so that you can have a higher flexibility of the metal. Okay, so this is the seaming process, particularly the double seaming process, which is mostly adopted in case of metal cans. If you have any doubt, please ask me. Okay, since you don't have any doubt over here also, so I'm going to the next part, that in we need to have a better technical specification about the measurements of different parts in this scene. Okay, so this is the picture you have to draw. Yeah, please draw it, then I'm explaining. Okay. As you can see that a seam is having different dimensions which are very important for proper designing. And as I already told, why we are putting so much importance on seam, because seam is one of the areas which can be a major cause of failure of your can. Now, why this failure? Failure is because, like most of these scans, if you think of the filling operation, that how the filling is done. Now, this filling operation is often done using a vacuum filling technique that we'll talk afterwards. But in this vacuum filling technique, as from the name you can understand that your package is first get vacuumed, that means the air inside it is taken out and your product is filled. Okay, now if you don't have a proper seaming, then this vacuum cannot happen, because if you have leakage inside, your container cannot be totally made empty. So that is why this seaming operation is very important, and these are the dimensions of the seam that need to be taken care of when we are designing any cans. Okay. So as you can see, it is clearly written. This is the seam length. This is the seam thickness. Now seam thickness is not taking only one end, it is taking both the end. This is the seam thickness. This is the countersink depth, this thing. That means the entire area where the two ends come and join. Okay, now this is the, which one is straight, which one is drawn straight, that is the can body, and which one is bended, which one is having a curved appearance, that is the end. Okay, so you have to remember this. So body hook, this D is the body hook. Okay, as you can see, the body is taking a shape like an hook, like this, so that is why it's called a body hook. And E is the end hook, this is the end hook. Okay, this part, this part is the end hook. And overlap, this is the overlap area, the F area, where like both are coming together, this part, this is the overlap area. And G is the seam gap, this small area is there where there is a gap. These two are not coming in the contact, but if this gap is very high, then your seaming may not work properly. Okay, so that is why this seam gap is a very important factor, which should not be much high at the same point of time. It should not be much small also, because like when you put a pressure, then obviously your metal will have some dimensional changes. To accommodate those dimensional changes, this gap is very important. Okay, but at the same point of time, it should not be very high. Otherwise, your seam may loosen up after some point of time. Okay, so this is the construction and dynamics of a double seam thing, and that is what we had for discussion today. If you have any doubts, please ask me, or else I have one question to you. After that, we'll end today. Okay, since you don't have any doubt, so I have a question from today's discussion. So can you tell me what are the major difference between DRD can and DWI can? Yeah, any of you?
যেটা ডিআরডি প্ল্যান আছে সেখানে আমরা প্লেন্সটা তৈরি ডব্লিউআই ক্যান সেখানে ফার্স্টের যে ডায়াগ্রামটা আছে সেখানে আমরা যখন ক্যান তৈরি করছি সেখানে কোনো প্লেন্স তৈরি করতে হচ্ছে না।
No, this is
জাস্ট
not right. Flange you always have to make. Flange is a mandatory thing. Otherwise, how will you fix the end? Any cans will always have a flange making. This is a mandatory thing. Otherwise, you cannot join the end. No?
স্যার এটা কি বলা যায় যে ডিআরডি ক্যান ড্র রিড্র বা মাল্টিপল রিড্রস দিয়ে প্রসেসে বানানো হয় অ্যান্ড ডিডব্লিউআই ক্যান ওয়াল আয়রনিং টাইপ অফ প্রসেস দিয়ে ম্যানুফ্যাকচারিং হয়?
You are just telling the full form of the term. It's not a technical wise. Construction wise,
ওকে,
tell me some difference.
ওকে।
ডিডব্লিউআই ক্যানে আমরা বিটস ইউজ করছি তৈরি করার সময়, তো কিন্তু সেটা ডিআরডি ক্যানে আমরা বিটস ইউজ করছি না।
Yeah, to some extent correct, not exactly. If you have a very, like in case of a food can, then you can use beads in DRT cans also. It's not always true. Suppose you have a small, like uh, this kind of cans where you have the food product, okay, but it is not very big. Say, for example, if you have seen this barley and this kind of products, the type of cans they use, that is a very small can. It's not a very big one, but they have beads. Bits is not actually depending on the size of the can, rather it is on the product that you are packaging in the cans. Any other technical differences? Okay. Let me tell you one basic difference that I was expecting from you, that DRD cans are majorly done for shallow cans where we have the diameter is less than height. Sorry, diameter is higher than the height, and this is generally done for the tall cans where the diameter is less than the height. The next important thing in DRD can, the thickness of body and base are same, but in DWI can, the thickness of body is smaller. I won't say smaller, I'll say rather lower than that of base. If you can see the construction, that how they are manufactured, in case of DRD can, there is no wall ironing. So basically it does not change the thickness of the metal piece. So that is why in case of a metal can which is made of DRD process, if you have the can like this, the thickness of your base and the thickness of your body is same. But in case of DWI, you will see that your base thickness is much higher than your body thickness. That is why means you can squeeze the beverage cans. You will see that after you drink, you can squeeze it because the body is a bit thinner. It's not, but if you try to squeeze also, you will see that the base remains in its own dimension. The squeezing normally happens like this, right? But if you try to squeeze it in the base, you will see it is almost impossible by hand in general people. So why is so? Because this base thickness is much higher. Because if you see about the construction, what is going to happen, this is the first cuff formation. Then this base remains same, but they keep on ironing this, they keep on thinning this body part so that it keep on adding into the height. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so these two are the major difference between DRD and DWI cams. That is what I had for today. If you have any doubts, please ask me. And I think the next day you have the class test, right? Am I right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Okay. So next day means it is falling 24th, right? Hello? Okay. So on 24th you have the class test and lateral entry students. I'm just asking you, do you have any problem in appearing class test on that day, or you want a separate class test afterwards? You want some special classes? Hello? Am I audible
না
to
স্যার
you
আমরা
all?
আমরা ওই দিনই দিব।
Okay. Okay. If you don't have any more doubts, then thanks for attending the class and bye.